Hi everyone, Ian here. So Twitter is very much in the news at the moment. There's a lot going on right now. It's been purchased by somebody called Elon Musk. Don't know if you've ever heard of him. But as it's in the limelight, I thought it'd be interesting to see if we can do something with our data from Twitter. And I saw Wes Bos do this interesting thing where he was going over his archived data looking for interesting tweets, and I thought I'd do the same but in Python. So if you're interested in following along with this, you'll need to request an archive of your data. You can do that by going into settings and support here, and in the settings and privacy option, and in here you get a download an archive of your data, and just follow that. If you go ahead and verify, you'll eventually get an email like this that will come like a day or so later. And then you'll be able to download an archive of your data as a zip. Within the zip, you get this HTML file that basically shows you quite a nice interface for all your tweets that you've ever had. And so this download includes all the media that you have, everything. If we go and look in it in Visual Studio Code. So this is the zip. This is what it is extracted on mine. In here, you've got everything. You've got all your images in here. And to be honest, on mine, this was the bulk of my downloads. So it's literally about a gigabyte worth of data, just over a gigabyte. And pretty much all of that was media. But what we have in here that's quite nice is a tweets.js. And within that is actually just a JSON structure which is bound to the window that is in this HTML app that we have. This HTML page rather. And we can use this to hopefully find some interesting tweets in Python. So if I copy this out, stick it somewhere useful. Yeah, I put it in the root, in fact, and rename it. Oh, I put it in the root there, okay. Move, go away. Okay, so in here, we can see that we have a JSON structure. So let's actually just make it an array and rename it .json. So I think depending on the amount of tweets you have, this might end up getting broken over multiple files. Mine is relatively small. I say relatively small, there's 10 years worth of data in here. And actually, if you scroll down, it means that this file is over 1 million lines long. See that? 1.1 million, 1.2 almost million lines of JSON. So it's going to be interesting to see if Python could actually cope with loading this. In fact, actually, let's create a new file. Stats.py. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long. But what we're effectively wanting to do here is basically take this JSON structure that we've just looked at. So this list. And filter on a few fields. So if you look at this, this is a single tweet in this list. That tweet is also actually nested under this field tweet there, which is confusing and a bit annoying that it's just a object on its own. But then we also have these retweet and favorite counts that are stored as strings. So what we want to do is get hold of them and basically order our structure. So I will reorganize this a little bit so that you can see what's going on. Let's make it a little bit bigger, hopefully. So first of all, we want to load in the JSON. So we do that by just opening the file. And then we're going to use JSON.load to basically get that into a list format. There's a bunch of dicts. and let's call this tweets. So if we print that out as that script, we hopefully should have, oh no, print Python. And so we've got the data in our tweets. That's not particularly nicely formatted, so what we're going to use is pprints. So it's from pprint, import preprint. There we go, pretty printer. And then hopefully that will look a little bit nicer for you to deal with. So we can see we've got a whole bunch of tweets there. It's taking a lot longer to print out with a pretty print. Wow, it's taking much longer that way actually. Okay, fine. What I'm going to do first is just check the length of this, because I think I have like 21,000 tweets over my 15 years or so, and there you can see confirmed by what we've got, so we don't have anything missing there at all. What we're going to do then is filter this. So if we take tweet list, we create a new array off the back of this. So for tweet in tweets, and I'm going to grab some of this data that we had. So we had in each one, we've got to dig down into the tweet itself, and we had an ID, and I'll just duplicate that. You can see we've got the favorite count as well. So let's pull that. And in fact, I'm gonna just rename that slightly. The English spelling there, not to be annoying or anything, but there you go. And then we want the retweet count as well. Retweet count. So then if we print that, let's do it with the normal print for now. Then hopefully, so we run that again, we've got the data that we need filtered down. What we have also is that these are actually annoyingly strings, so we need to convert them into integers first. And what I might also do is grab the text. And we don't need the integer on that. Okay, cool. So let's see what that looks like. Cool. So it's given us a load of data. What we need to do then is sort this list. So we're going to use a lambda function for that. And it does that in place, so we don't return anything from that sort function. Oops. And what I'm gonna use is the retweets. And from that, what we've done here, there we go, that's what's wrong. You should get a sorted list that gives us all the most retweeted ones as the last. And let's pretty print that again, because it's a bit difficult to see. So you can see from that the most, in fact, actually, let's do something else here and add a URL to look these up. So each of these tweets, we have the URL is basically the name is twitter.com/your username /status, and then the tweet itself. So if I stick that in a F string, then hopefully if we use the right quotes, that will give us a URL in the structure we're returning, so it just makes it a bit easier to. Oh, in fact, that's the full text. That is not what we want. We want the ID, so let's do that. And we are missing that. Okay, cool. So we have a link that we can look at. Let's open that. And the most favorited thing, or in fact, the most retweets is a random thing about Harrods employee from December 2010, which is, what, 12 years ago now? So kind of crazy. Let's have a look back through some of these other ones. A Vine. You can see some of the age here because we're using things that are just old and never, services that are old and out of favour now. And a YouTube video about Jessica Alba knowing how to create Jira tickets. So there we go, very interesting. But we can also order this by the favorites if we wanted. And I mean, we could order this by any number of things. We could pull out, for instance, the date in here as well and use that as a filter, or in fact, in order to drill down further. So if we pull up what we got now, so most favorited thing is a DuckDuckGo tweet. And so this is a Hammerby creation that my son, and it got picked up by DuckDuckGo, and then loads of people favorited that. So that's my most favorited thing. It's quite nice to be most favorited. You could use other tools for this. Obviously, Wes Boz used JavaScript. I'm pretty sure you could do this in JQ in a one-line thing as well. So I may try and do that and add it to the YouTube description of this video. But yeah, I hope you found this useful. Go and download your data, make sure you've got a backup of that, and you can do the similar sort of stuff with it as well. And I will speak to you in a new video soon. All right, bye for now.